Hello, and welcome to this live video training that will be talking about how to overcome the challenges of content creation and embrace the future. My name is Olumide Fadeibi, and today we're going to be looking at what you need to overcome the challenges of content creation for you to be able to put your voice out there, for you to be able to create your messages, for you to be able to deliver whatever it is you're looking to do. And this training is actually for everyone out there that is looking to put a message out, and you're struggling with how to create this content. I am very happy, and I'm very confident that at the end of today you have more confidence in knowing how to create your content, in knowing how to make those marketing videos that you've been looking to make. Whoever you are, maybe you're a pastor, you're a poet, you're a makeup artist, you're a hairdresser. You just want to create something to showcase your talent. You want to create videos around your products and services, but you're struggling with how to get it done. I am very confident that at the end of today, you'll be able to do this, because I've also got two amazing content creators that are going to join us later on. But before we bring them in, I want to say a big thank you to the sponsors and funders that made this possible. I want to say a big thank you to them for sponsoring us on this, which is the European Union. I want to say a big thank you to them for funding this project, to the Scottish government, to the University of Glasgow, to the Scottish Refugee Council and COSLA, because what they've done is they've supported our project over the years. They've seen some of the projects we've done, and they decided to support us to be able to encourage other people to get into content creation and be able to become self-reliant, basically. So that's what they've done to help with this. And so I'm just going to share the screen. This is our website. This is what Tonflix, our organization, does. We're into the advancement of arts, heritage, and culture, and that is how we've been able to bring together this training, just to be able to advance our arts, our creativity, and to encourage you guys out there to grab your cameras, grab whatever it is you have, and start creating things for yourself. Start telling your stories the way you want it told. So get in touch. Anyway, I'm going to start this now. And as I said, who is this for? Who is this training going to be for? It is for anyone with a message. Either you're a business owner, whatever it is you're doing, this training is really for you. And with the rise of mobile phone, mobile consumption, mobile content, mobile consumption, there's going to be the rise of people using mobile phones to create content. And that is what this training is going to look at. How can we create content using what you already have? Because what's already in your pocket is a powerhouse of, it's a production powerhouse. Some people have phones that their RAM is over 8 gig, 16 gig, 32 gig RAM. That is amazing. Like a few years back, some computers don't even have that much of RAM space, and you have it in your pocket. So there's nothing stopping you from creating massive content around your message, around your business, around your products. At least for you to be able to bring up, to create something that you can use to showcase what you have. So during this training, I'm going to give us step-by-step guides on how to get started with your mobile phone. Most of us we use our mobile cameras anyway, but we use it wrongly. And that is why most times whatever we create doesn't look professional, and we end up binning it or losing confidence in showcasing what we've already created. So during this training, we're going to look through the step-by-step guide on how to get it started, how to start filming yourself, and I'm going to start that now by letting you know that, one of the great things, the first step is you have to plan. Plan. You have to put a plan to what you want to do. You have to prepare your content, prepare your script. Either you're using bullet points, or you want to, or you have it placed somewhere. You just have to plan what it is you want to say, what it is you want to film. You have to plan what you're going to talk about. Have a script or have bullet points ahead. You have to just plan what you're going to be talking about, because even though that seems like the common sense, but many times people just want to start and wing things, but then it might be difficult for you because you just need to already have planned what it is you're going to be talking about. And that brings me to the next point, which is you need to select a suitable location for yourself. By location, I don't want you, any of the steps, I don't want you guys to overthink it, because the most important thing is for you to get started. Is for you to just go out there, grab your phone, what you already have, or any camera that you already have. Don't overthink things and start, because you're going to learn from mistakes. But where the whole essence of this training is to guide you so that you don't make so much of a mistake. So I was talking about location. Your location is very, very important, because you want to select a location that is not noisy. You also want to select a location that is comfortable and suitable for what you want to do. So, for example, somebody who's going to be talking, maybe you're a chef, you want to talk about cooking, or you're somebody that loves cooking and you want to talk about cooking. Your kind of location should suit what you're talking about. And if you're a gym instructor, or you want to talk about exercising and all that, your location should also fit what you're talking about, in the sense that I don't want you, remember I said I don't want you to overthink this. Don't say, because I want to talk about exercise, I don't have a gym, and because of that you're going to put it off. Or the gym you want to use that has lots of equipment, they're still not guaranteeing you permission or something. Don't overthink this, please, because you can always be creative. You can set up a mat, on the floor, or just get basic things that you need to tell your story. So try not to overthink this. But your location, the most important thing about location is to decide if the most important thing about the location is not to have distractions, not to have too many things happening behind, not to have a busy location, not to have a location that the audio is not going to be great, that there's so much background noise. That's what I mean, that you don't want things to be distracting your audience. So you have to choose the right location. That's the second step. Then the third step is you need to now decide, what do you want to do? Are you using a live? Are you going to be using a front facing camera? If you're using your phone, which is the whole essence of this, we're encouraging you to use your mobile phone. And as you know, your mobile phone comes with two types of cameras. Now some come with 6 or so, but the front facing camera and then the rear camera. So basically you want to decide which one you're going to be using. Most of the recent phones now, the front facing camera is more than enough. The front facing camera is more than enough, because most of them are now 1080p on the minimum. But then if you want to use your rear facing camera, if you still have the older generation phones, that it's only the rear camera that is quite of good quality. And when I mean good quality, anything above 720, even if your front facing camera is 720p, I think that is sufficient enough for you to start telling your stories. But if you're deciding to use the rear camera, it just means you now need to have somewhere to place your phone. That is, you need something to hold it for you, so that you'll be able to see. I mean, the challenge with that is for you to be able to see yourself. And that is why any recent phone, your front facing camera will be enough, and you'll be able to see yourself doing that. Then the next one is you have to clean your lens. Clean the lens of your phone. So by cleaning your lens, you can use anything. You can use your shirt, because mobile phones, we put them on our ear, and you're using the front facing camera, which is that one. You have to just try and clean, you can use your shirt, use anything, rub it, get hand tissue or something, just clean the lens. Just that one. Just try and give it a quick clean, just like that. Because that is what separates an amateur from a professional. The reason why some feel their phone is not good enough is because it's got stains, sweat stains, makeup stains, and different kind of stains on the lens. And all you have to do is just clean this, clean your lens, and before you start filming, and you will see that your images will become crystal clear, crystal sharp, right? Moving on, the next one would be placing your phone. I can't overemphasize this, where you're going to place your phone. I've seen so many times, I see people, and I'm not trying to attack any gender now, but especially in parties, I see women, most times, they give their phone to their friend to record them because they want to show themselves dancing, they want to post it on social media. And now the friend that is recording them is also dancing and shaking the phone. And that is why most times that image never gets used, because it's too shaky. So you really, really need to place your phone on a tripod. You need to get like a tripod, or put it on a shelf or something. You just have to place the phone. This is a basic tripod. It's just a mini tripod. You could use it for anything. I have a webcam on it, and all you have to do is just put your phone. Make sure it's the ones that have phone holder that can hold your phone, and place your phone on it, and that way you can be able to lock your phone. Make sure it's not shaky, because when you want to deliver this kind of messages, when you want to deliver your services, you want to talk, you have something you want your audience to know about, it's always good to lock your phone so that you get a stable shot without it shaking or without it moving around. If you don't, this whole training is about getting started with whatever you have. If you don't have a tripod, if you don't have one of these tripods, though these are quite cheap, these are under 20 pounds. If you don't have one of those tripods, you can just place your phone by the window sill, even on the floor, on books. Just place it in a way that it will stand. Put something behind it for the phone to stand on its own, and that way you can be filming yourself without the phone shaking. And as I said, I have two amazing consultants with us. These are professionals that in their own field, they are very, very, they are professionals. They've done filming. I'll bring one of them in now. And before I do that, don't forget, I've still got another about 5 to 7 more tips to share with you. But going over the tips we've already shared before: one, you have to prepare your content, you have to plan. Two, select a suitable location. That it should be a no-brainer, because you don't want these things distracting you. Three, decide which of the cameras you want to use, front or back, rear facing. With your rear facing one, the challenge is how you will monitor what you're recording. But then there are ways you can overcome that, and we'll talk about later during this training series, because this training series is going to be over 4 days. We have another one tomorrow, and then we have two more in December. They will all be live, and they will also be on the YouTube page, which you can always catch up with. Then the fourth one is always clean your lens. Clean your lens. And I will bring in one of the consultants to share his own experience, to share with us how he got started. And he's an international photographer. He's a content creator. He's an international photographer operating over 3 continents. And he's also a content creator. He uses his mobile phones. Recently, we worked together somewhere. And when I saw the images he produced from there with his mobile phone, I was wowed. Even though I know and I use my mobile phone, but what he came up with, because I saw him when he was filming it with his phone, you get. But by the time I saw the finished product, I was like, you're joking me. So I want someone like that to kind of help build our confidence that the mobile phone is endless possibility, and it is the future of production. You already have it in your pocket, so use it. Please welcome Mr. Olutoye. Hello, Toye.
Hi, hi. How are you, Mr. Olumide?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Thank you for joining us. I know you have a very busy schedule. I think you're actually in the middle of flying out of the country somewhere else. So, but thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate the time. And Toye, we're just talking about you know content creation, encouraging people to use their mobile phone, and just get started. basically for them to get started with whatever it is they have. Is it possible? Can you please introduce yourself and tell us how you started in this industry?
Hi, I'm Olutoyo Latunde. I have a background in accounting. I got started in photography about 8, 9 years ago, and perfect topic we're talking about because the first uh, thing that gave me that belief that I could go into change my industry, coming into photography and content creation, was with my mobile phone. It was about I used to have a phone and I just saw the maybe marketing gimmick, 20 megapixel. I'm like, okay, I could take a good picture of myself and my family, and I did that. And I went to a store, put it in a canvas, and someone else came into my home and said, "Wow, who took this?" And I said, "I did with my mobile phone." And it was at that point I now realized that like you can actually do something for yourself with what you have in your pocket, and the limitation is just yourself. You have it in your pocket. You can create content. Especially with the opportunities of social media, like of Instagram, Facebook, and everything. Even the big content creators, your even the big content creators, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
are now so into getting content from mobile phone, and I think that's the future in your pocket, honestly.
Okay, okay, brilliant. And so you've told us about your journey into photography and how you got started using your mobile phone and things like that. Is there any tip you can share with the audience on how to use their mobile phone, how they can, what are the basic things that they need to know?
Yeah, the basic thing you just need to know about creating content with your mobile phone is you understanding. No, when I say understanding, everything about content creation is all about lighting. It's all about location, getting the perfect lights for the audio, being in a quiet place, so everything can be detailed. And because you're throwing yourself out there, the audio plays an important role as the visuals as well. So clean your lens, as Mr. Olumide said earlier. Make sure it's sparkling clean with anything, any wipes you've got around you, and go to a quiet place. When we say quiet place, we don't mean extreme quietness or anything, but somewhere where you could speak and you could hear yourself clearly. That's the first tip, basically, and just understanding that, like, okay, where the camera could be facing, depending if you are using your front camera or your back camera, and that's just the start for me. Yeah, that's just the basic. You just have to understand those basics. Yeah.
Okay, cool, 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 cool. And so with the let's talk about the events industry in UK, like the wedding space, events photography, and content creations generally. What would be the key ingredients for people that are watching this that are probably okay thinking okay they want to get started or they're already started because I do get a lot of inquiries from people, from friends, from people on social media. By the way, I love social media, I love online, I love everything about online because it gives me the opportunity to meet new people, and every time I'm always meeting new people. And you get inquiries, somebody sends you a DM and says, oh, I've got this camera. They've actually been shooting, they've actually been taking pictures and all that, but they're not very confident to start taking on like weddings or to start taking on events or to start going out by themselves to shoot. By shoot I mean to start filming or taking pictures. What are the key ingredients that you've over the years either you've self-learned or somebody has passed down to you or from experience or by making mistakes, because making mistake is actually a key factor in learning. So what are some of the key ingredients that they need to get started within the events industry, either in
Yeah,
UK and Nigeria or any other place?
Yeah, basic thing. What you need out there, especially with photography or videography, is to throw yourself out there.
Yeah.
As you said, you're gonna make mistakes. People are gonna criticize you, but like you should be your number one critic yourself. But it's a continuous thing. Like I started with like, oh, someone's son is turning one. Can I come and do a free picture or take it for free? With that, I was gaining confidence along the line. I still remember the first wedding I was paid to do. I was nervous, so nervous until I got like wow from the a lady that gave me the wedding. So it's just a continuous process. Don't be scared. You can start with your little bubble, your close families and close friends as well. You have to throw yourself out there. No one will do it for you. You just have to like wherever you're shooting weight. Yeah, I wouldn't technically advise for you to like, okay, someone is getting married and you've only got a mobile phone. I wouldn't technically advise that like, okay, I can get paid to cover a wedding with a mobile phone. I wouldn't advise that technically. But if it's small parties, small get together, if you know how to use those basic fundamentals with your mobile phone, you can actually achieve, especially the rate of technology on those mobile devices these days, you can actually achieve something very tangible to share among family and friends, and no one would actually know that it was taken with a mobile device.
Okay, 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 okay. That's brilliant. Thank you very much for that. And then, what do you feel? What's your take on mentoring? Do you feel aspiring content creators, aspiring photographers, do you think
Y-
we need
Yeah, yeah,
mentorship?
definitely. I maybe I missed that. That's a very, very important point. Every other thing you do, you definitely need a mentor. You need someone up there you're looking up to. And apart from a physical mentor, the other mentor you could give to yourself is the opportunities that are everywhere now. The opportunities are just everywhere. On YouTube, you can learn skills that you used to pay a lot for, previously. But the fact about it, you are yourself, you can throw yourself out there and get a mentor online. Just be chatting with a person, or if you need that physical one-on-one. And I went to a school to learn photography, but before then, I had a mentor who happens to be a friend. Definitely, mentorship is very, very important.
Okay, that's brilliant. Thank you very much for that. And one quick question: what are the challenges within the UK wedding industry? Because we've been in this for a few years now, and I know that you've done very well for yourself. By the way, you can check him out. Is You can check Mr. Toye out on Instagram. Is Blanco Concepts. He's done amazing. You inspire me a lot. Your works on
Oh.
social media inspires me a lot to
No,
say
no,
the
no, no,
least.
no.
Um, well, it's not been an easy ride. Like, I don't know how easy or how hard it is for you, but what are the challenges? What are some of the challenges within the UK wedding industry? Especially, this is for people that want to come on board, that want to start filming or taking pictures in at weddings. What are some of the challenges that you went through, that you experienced?
Yeah, the first thing is just that you have to constantly throw yourself out there. You don't have to like look at the criticism. It's part of growing up. You have to like learn that, okay, if my friends and family can trust me taking their pictures or doing their videos, and you have to understand that they'll be the one to refer you. And apart from that, you have to constantly learn, criticize yourself, those mistakes you made. You have to like your next job is a new challenge for you. It's a continuous thing for the London, especially the London wedding scene. No bride or groom would want to pay you if they are doubting your ability to give them those wow pictures on their wedding day, because it only happens once. So you have to know how to put yourself out there, and your work should speak for you as well. Your work should definitely speak for you. It's a challenge, don't get me wrong. I didn't start this way. As I did say earlier, I remember my first wedding and I was looking for that recommendation. Not that I got it 100%, but like that was what gave me that boost that yes, I could do weddings. Weddings is a different game entirely because it's not like a birthday that when someone's turned 40, they could miss that perfect picture and get it when they are 60. Weddings are just once in a lifetime. So you have to like constantly learn, constant speak to your mentors, and the industry is there for you. You know, like I've got a statistic that 2022 there will be over 2 million weddings in the UK. So just imagine getting 1% of 2 million weddings. You'll be perfect, yeah?
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for those tips. And please stay hang on with us. I'm just gonna share some more tips, and then I'll come back and probably ask you some more ideas and some more questions. So just to enlighten us the more. So we're back at talking about the you know tips on how to get started using your mobile phones. And earlier on, I said prepare your contents. Um, okay, hold on 1 second. I was talking about preparing your content. That is, make sure you have scripts. It could be bullet points, except if you're the type that you can fire on, just keep talking from your brain. But at least you should kind of know what it is you want to talk or film. And then the second one is about choosing the right location, making sure there's no distraction. Your audio in that location is perfect. There's no distracting noise, background noise or stuffs, and there's no distracting images, people moving behind you or in front of your camera. Then the third one is deciding what camera you want to use, either your phone, the front camera of your phone or the rear camera. The fourth one, make sure you clean your lens. Your lens is one of the things that would automatically shout an amateur or a professional, because you use your mobile phone every time. As I demonstrated earlier on, there's always smudges on it, there's sweat, there's dirt on it. You want to make sure you give it a quick wipe, and you can use anything to wipe it, to be honest. Your shirt, a cloth, anything, just wipe it and then before you film. Then the fifth one is use a tripod. I showed us one of the tripods. Get one of these, any tripod. This one will stand on a table. If you don't have 20 pounds or whatever amount of money that is, this whole training is to encourage you to get started with what you have. Put it on the windowsill, put it on your desk, put it on books, put something behind your phone, make it stable before you start filming, except if that's the style you want to do. Maybe you want to hold it, but while you're holding it, try not to move too much. I give an example of people dancing and filming themselves. That's why they never get to use those footages, or moving about, running after each other. And then the sixth one is your lighting. Your lighting is very, very, very important here, guys. With lighting, when I say lighting, I mean you need to light the subject you want to film. So if it's yourself, how do you make yourself look bright enough, look nicely lit? So one of the things is either you get, a cheap light. We've got one of these. I'll show that when we come back in. You've got all these LED panel lights. They're quite cheap to buy as well. You can get one of that. If you don't want to buy lights, or you don't have money to buy those lights, what you can do is try and stand beside window, like here, because I've got lights in the studio, which I'll show you. I am also making sure I'm standing under the light bulb. There's a light source here. You can see my hand is, if I move it, you can see there's a light source there. Make sure you're standing where this is already light in the house. So I didn't buy that light is already within the house. The cheapest one is to stand beside the window. There's a window right beside me, though I'm not using the light from there, but there's still a soft kind of light coming from it because I pulled down the curtain. If I open the curtain, you can see the light is very, very bright. So these are the things you want to make sure you have around you. You want to make sure you're in a place where your lighting is very, very, very on point. Lighting is key, guys. Lighting is what would help your images look very, very professional, and would not even make people know that you're filming with your mobile phone, because the quality of the mobile phone cameras is as good as some of the professional cameras out there. So you already have it in your pocket. There's nothing stopping you. One of the things stopping you is just lighting. As I said, this training is to encourage you to get started and not have to go and start spending money. So with lighting, stand in front of your window. Never back your window. It's a no no. Don't back the window, because the light source coming from the window is just always too much. It gets right into the camera and it distracts your audience. What you want to do is you want to face the window, or put it to your side, or to like a 90 degrees, so that it can light you. And you can see where my light source is coming from here. It's coming from this degree, this angle. I'll show the light now. It's this is the kind of panel I'm talking about. And then it has a stand. This one comes for, I think, about 50 pounds, $50 per one, depending on where you buy them from. I'll put links to where you can buy some of these products I have. I mean, I'm talking about all that you can use to assist your phone so that you get good images. But don't wait till when you've got money to buy these lights. You can you can equally use your window. You can equally use daylight. Just open up your window, stand in front of your window. Your window will act as your light source, and it will also act as your tripod, because you can put your phone on your window sill, depending on how high it is and how tall you are. If it's not tall enough, guys, get books. As we're talking here, I have books. I'm putting my microphone on books. If you permit me, I will try and raise it up to show you. That's the microphone I'm using, and these are the books. So I am a living witness of what I'm telling you. I'm a living witness of I practice what I preach. I don't want you guys to go out there and be spending money. Just do with what you have. You don't need to buy tripods or this thing if you want to get started. Get books, get stuffs, put your camera on it, use your window as your light source. Again, remember, don't back the window. Let it be in front of you or to your side, and that will give you a very good lighting. Even your door, if the noise outside is not going to be too much, if you don't have window, open your door, let light come in. You can even do it outside, as long as the sunlight is not coming from your back. Except some of these rules are there to be broken. You understand? I do break some of these filming laws, rules as well, but you need to know how to break it. If the story I'm telling requires me to put the sunlight behind me, there's a way I can do it, but that's becoming more technical, and that is when, maybe if you decide to go for the one-on-one training, you can inbox me, call me. I would go into details on how to do this, but I'll just quickly say, in case you want to tell the story with the sunlight or whatever light you're using behind you, there's a way you have to set your camera setting to accommodate that light, and then you will need extra light to now balance it, to lift up your face, or to lift the face of who you'll be filming. So lighting, well said and done. The next and the most important part of it is your audio, guys. Your audio is very, very important, and that is why we go back to our second point, which is your location. So your audio is very, very important here. You have to find a way to capture your best audio possible. So you capture your audio without background noise. You can't afford to be where there's so much noise in the background distracting you. You have to also find a way to capture you also have to find a way to capture your audio by, if you can afford to buy some of these microphones out there, they're cheap, they're very, very cheap now. Just do everything you can to get an extra microphone apart from the microphone that comes with your phone. Some of the microphones, I've got one here. These are quite cheap. I think maybe about £9 or £10, maybe $10. This is it, and it's got the microphone there. You can clip it to yourself. and start using it. And also for those that also have cameras, maybe whatever camera it is, you're thinking your camera is not strong enough, or you've not been using it because the sound doesn't sound professional, because you can't have a camera in front of you. Once your camera is about 1 foot away from you, you need an external mic. You need a mic to attach to it. You can buy one of these ones. I think this one too is about £10. You can use this one, connect it to your system. If you're the type that wants to be going live like this, just buy these microphones. Later on, after this video, I'll put links in the description or in comment section below this video so you can see them. These are the things you need to get. You have to have a proper audio set for yourself. And I still have more tips to share with us. But before I go on with the remaining tips, I would bring in another powerful professional we have here. He's been a cameraman for years. He's a professional content creator. He's an amazing editor, and he's also a friend of mine. And for him to share some of the tips that he has and his own point of view, welcome Mr. Ken Morrison. Hello, Ken. Hello, Ken. Can you hear us? Okay, I don't think I can hear you very well. Okay, I think for one reason, technical reason or the other, I think we're struggling to hear Ken there. I would continue. Let me, for some moments, let me just show some of the comments, because we've got people in the comment section. Oh, from Chiamaka, so insightful. Thank you very much, Amaka, for that. Thank you for joining. And from Facebook, Prince Alex Abiodun, nice tips. Thanks, bro. Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you so much. You're doing an amazing job. By the way, that's one of the dopest MCs around if you're looking for an MC. And I think as an MC, he's also learning, getting some of these tips that he could use, because I believe my brother out there has some messages to deliver. Please, bro, start with your phone. Don't hesitate. Thanks for the training, Anna Model. Thank you so much. This is quite inspiring for me. There's so many people from different walks of life joining us. Anna Model is a catwalk queen. She's a model, and she's also a content creator. She has a show that she does on Instagram. So please do check her out, Anna Model, on Instagram. And Anulika, thank you so much. Thanks to the Tonflix crew. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, and ask him to unmute. I think that's Ken. Ken, probably you're mute. Or probably it's his thank you so much. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate this. Yes, 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 yes. You're here to learn. In fact, the funniest thing is about creating contents, you'll also be learning as well. So it's not just listening to people, it's not just listening to this, but when you start creating it yourself, you would also be learning. You would also be picking up, would you also be picking up stuff. Okay. You would also be learning, because you learn by doing, actually, and by also training others. I am also here to learn. I'm also learning from you guys, from the from the comments you're putting out there. I am also learning from you. Thank you very much, guys. And I'll quickly continue with some of the tips I was saying. So to recap again, I'll start from beginning. For those that are just joining, it is very, very important for you to prepare the content you want to talk about. Have your script, have your bullet points. What is it you want to talk about? What is it you want to film? What is it you want to capture? What is the message you want to put out there? Don't just come like so unprepared. If you can do it, that's fine. But one of the tips here is we're sharing tips that would help you. So one of the tips is to plan ahead, write it down, place it somewhere. You can place it on stick notes, just have bullet points of what you want to be talking about. Select the right and good location for yourself. Guys, all these points, please don't overthink it. Don't overstress it. By selecting the right location, you don't have to go to the perfect 100% place, because somebody has talked to me before. I think she wanted to make videos about, I think she was into beauty and fashion stuff, which I understand. And she was looking to make videos around that. But then she wanted us to get like beach house facing the beach location, things like that. That kind of thing would make you procrastinate. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. It's perfect. It's great to have that kind of view, that kind of location, no doubt. That's awesome. But you will see that you keep waiting till you get that, and you will never ever say what you want to say. Whereas you could be in your house, in your room, just set up somewhere quiet, set up somewhere, decent, talk about what you want to say. And by the time you have the opportunity to get that beach house, you can now go there as the perfect location. So when I'm talking about location here, what I mean is a location that does not have anything distracting you, that does not have anything moving around. You can't be talking while in the middle of the market, especially, you know, in rowdy, busy markets. It's just going, the noise level is just going to be too much. That's what I mean by selecting the location. I don't mean overthinking the perfect best location. Whereas all you need to do is just be creative and use whatever space you have, but make sure it's noise free, it's free of noise, and it's free of so many distractions. Clean your lens, select which camera you want to use, and clean the lens. It's very, very important, because when you wipe your lens, all you just have to do is just a quick wipe on your shirt with your, just with toilet roll, anything, just wipe that lens, make sure it's clean and it's dirt free. Put your camera on tripods. I've showed us the tripods. I'll put links in the description or in comment section where you can get tripods from. Put your tripod on and make sure your phone is locked. And then the next one is use lighting. Take advantage of your window. Your window is a great source of light for you. Don't back it. Don't put your camera in front and then your window is at your back, except if you are advanced in lighting techniques, that you know how you can balance light and have the biggest source of light behind you, except that's what you're doing. But if you're just getting started, face your window. I have a window here. I'm not really using it because I have the curtain on it, but you can see how much light is coming from there. The reason I'm not using it is because I'm already using my lighting here, and I'm actually standing under the house lights. So I intentionally placed myself under this light source so that it could help me with my lighting. And I have one light coming from here. So, and that's why I'm not using my window light. But if I'm the type that doesn't have window, doesn't have all these lights, and I have window, I'll just stand in front. I'll make sure my window is in front of me, and all the lights would come from here. You can see, guys. So you have that. It's free of charge. Take advantage of your window, stand in front of it, check your camera setting, make sure it's not too bright, and use that. You can also use your door if the location you are doesn't have windows. Open your door as long as there's no much noise outside. Moving forward, I would also continue with the tips. And I said audio. Your audio is very, very important. Make sure you have external microphones that you can plug into your phone. Some of these microphones, it's Boya. I'll put it in the link description, in the description section. Just plug into your mobile phone, put the microphone, clip it to yourself, and it will give you great audio. If you don't have these, still use your mobile phone the way it is with the microphone. All you just have to do is make sure you're where there is no distracting noise, and you should be able to get something decent. And make sure the phone is no more than 1 foot away from you, 1 arm length away from you. Don't make it more than 1 arm length. Once your phone is further than that, the audio would not be great. And once your audio is not great, guys, for production, audio sometimes is much more needed than the actual video. If you have a poor quality video, but you have the audio is great, you can still use that footage. But if the audio is rubbish, people can't hear it, you can't even hear what you're saying, it's muffled up, then you have the best, sharpest, cleanest image. Most likely, you will not be able to use that. You will not be able to use that. So your audio is very, very important. on the minimum, audio is 50%, your video is 50%. But sometimes I rate audio as high as 70, 80%, because the worst case scenario, say for example, you're doing a marketing video to promote your product or your services, and at the end of the day, your image is not so good, but the audio is clean. You can use that as a podcast. You can post the audio, you can put pictures. When in the editing class, we'll be doing editing tomorrow. In the editing class, you can you would learn how to put your image over your voice, so that way you can use it without, I mean, if your video is so the quality is so bad but then your audio quality is good, you can be able to still use that audio. But if your audio quality is bad and your image is good, you will struggle to use that. So guys, audio is very, very important here. And then the next one is you need to check your phone. I know you've already locked your phone, but you have to now, you have tripod where you put your phone on, but then you have to check your phone settings. One of the things to be considerate about here is, what resolution are you shooting at? You want to check the setting of your phone to know that your phone can shoot in the highest resolution. I mean, that you're shooting in the highest resolution your phone can shoot in. Some people, their phones can shoot in 4K. Most phones now can actually shoot in 4K, especially within the last 1 year, 2 years. My phone is one of the cheapest phones. This is an Infinix phone. It's under $200 and it shoots in 4K. So you've got an iPhone, you've got Samsungs, you can shoot the highest resolution possible. However, when you shoot in 4K, obviously it will lead us to my next point because of storage space, but you want to try and shoot in the highest resolution possible. So to do that, you go to your camera setting, open your camera app, go into the camera setting and choose the highest resolution so that you can have the best detail. If your phone doesn't have high resolution, even if it is 720p, go ahead and still film, because we need to hear your story. People need to know what you're doing. People need to know what you're selling. People need to know what your message is. So please don't get discouraged because your phone doesn't have high resolution. Whatever your phone has, as long as it's above 720p, you are good to go. Then the next one, you need to check that you have enough battery that will last you the time. I know this sounds like common sense, but at the end of the day, you could have started filming and you just run out of battery while you're filming, especially for those that are going live. You need to make sure you have enough battery space. You need to also make sure you have enough recording space that you would use that would take your message. You need to have enough recording space. If you don't, so these are the things you need to check before you start filming. All these tips I'm giving you are things you need to start doing. You need to do before you commence on filming. So make sure you check that you have enough space. Make sure you check that you have enough battery that will take you on. Let me bring in our consultant again, Mr. Toye, just to recap on some of the things that he has talked to us about earlier on. Toye,
Yeah.
how you doing? How you doing? By the way, Mr. Toye is an international photographer. Is a content creator, and he's done amazingly well with events photography. Do check him out on Blanco Concepts on Instagram, and you'll be amazed at at some of the contents he takes on. Toye, we were talking about mentorship earlier on, and I know that we have so many people that they've been coming to you or to me to get mentored. What are some of the tips you can share with people that are looking for mentorship? What are some of the tips that you can share with them? Some of the do's, because mentorship doesn't have to be just your friend. It's not only your friend that needs, I mean, that you can mentor. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to go to only your friend to get mentored. So when they're going to meet people that they don't really know, or trying to inbox this person, oh, please, can you mentor me, or things like that, what are some of the tips you will share with them when they are approaching this person, and when the person finally takes them on board to mentor them? What are some of the tips, the best practice for them to take on board while they are during their mentorship?
Yeah, the best personal tip I would advise anyone trying to get a mentor is to like you have to listen, and you should just forget about the money aspects for the first 6 months. I'm being practical. You forget about it. You have to learn the trade. You have to come in with this open mind. I'm coming to learn. And the mentors, sometimes depending on how they mentor the subject or anything, you just have to like carry them along. But the first basic thing is you just have to tell them that please, you have to understand it's all about a life skill that you are willing to learn, and they have to be focused learning it. It's not. It's all about that little discipline. That's my first tip because I'm starting some mentorship in January as well. And the first thing I told them is that are you willing to invest in your time? When I mean invest in your time, is not about buying gears or anything. Your time is whatever we're going through. What are you willing to put into your learning ability to get up there? I have someone that told me she wants to be the next I wouldn't mention a photographer's name on live now, but she said she wants to be that person. And I asked her, why did you come to me? She said, oh, she loves my own kind of photography. I said, perfect. But before I got to this stage, this is where I was, and I'm still learning. It's a continuous thing. So even you as a mentor, you have to make it clear to them that you can only take them to a certain extent, but they have to continually learn themselves. So that's one of those tips I tend to tell them.
Thank you very much, Toye. Thank you so much for those tips. Thank you for that. I think I got some questions in the comment section, which I'll just quickly deal with before moving forward. And before moving forward, one of the questions is please is this is coming from Grace Yoha. By the way, Grace Yoha is an amazing tailor. She's an amazing fashion designer. She does teaches. She's good. She's brilliant. I've seen some of her works, and I've actually interviewed her before as well to talk about her dreams and her aspirations for the next 5 years. And I think it's time we go back to that series of video making where we go and visit some of the people that, some of the creative people, because a fashion designer is a creative person. So Grace is asking, what do I mean by make sure the phone is locked? Okay, brilliant question. What I mean by make sure your phone is locked is, I don't mean lock your phone. I'm not saying lock it. I'm not saying lock it the way this one is locked. So what I mean is, I'm sure at that point I was talking about the camera settings. So when you go to the camera setting, the reason for that is because your mobile phone is automatically set on auto. Everything is auto. Everything in your camera is on auto. So it's automatic lighting. So if, say, for example, you're filming and you happen to move or something, your camera setting is set in a way that any movement, any exposure, anything, it would change the exposure of the camera. The camera can suddenly go bright or it will just suddenly go dark. So that is if you're moving around and then by the time the camera faces the light, it will just suddenly go dark or it will suddenly open up. So what I mean by locking the phone is go to the camera setting, check the exposure level. Yeah. Put it to the certain level you want it to be and let it be at that level. Lock it there. Or if you can't do all these settings, you this is where the one-on-one training comes in place. You can contact me anytime, especially for those that are in Scotland or in Glasgow. I would put myself out there for free to show you how to do these things on a one-on-one. If it's impossible for us to meet one-on-one, if you DM me, inbox me, I would also be able to show you via video calls or more detailed how to do these settings. But again, there are apps. You might need to have external apps. You might need to have external apps that you download. Some video apps, some camera apps. One of them is Open Camera. It's available on Android. I'll put some of these things in the description or in comment section once this video is over. Open camera allows you to use your camera and change the exposure, change the ISO, and change the aperture. These things I'm talking about are how much light comes into your camera, into the lens. So you don't want to be filming and just because you've moved, or as I'm moving now, my lighting is not changing because I've locked my camera, the setting, I've locked the lighting, I've locked the exposure, I've locked the aperture, and I've locked the ISO. So these are things that you need to do so that your lighting is not jumping up and down. But again, if you can't do that, don't overthink any of these steps, guys. Please don't overthink any of these steps. If you don't know how to do that and you're unable to reach out to me one-on-one, what will help you to avoid your camera changing lighting settings is put it on a tripod. That again is also locking. Make sure your camera is stable in one place, and you will see that most times you're not. I mean, your camera setting won't be jumping up and down. And at the same time, if you're most of the things you'll be talking, you're just in one place delivering your message, that would be great. And then I think I have another one. Anolika says, Donflix, please, I don't want to show my face, but I want to use slides and audio. How do I do that? Otherwise, if I do video, how do I edit it? Yes. So this is in our editing training. So I think Anolika is a bit advanced because she doesn't want to show her face. She just wants to create slides and use videos from maybe videos she's put together or that she sourced from different places. This is editing. Now, when you're trying to join things together, this is editing, and we'll be talking about editing tomorrow, guys. We'll be talking about editing tomorrow. I'll be showing you the apps that you need to do. What free software? I love that question. Me too, I love things free. But with free, you need to know that the software makers would put some limits. It's available for free. There's so many of them available for free. The software we'll be talking about tomorrow is also available for free, but they will put their watermark on it, and they will reduce probably the resolution that you can edit with or export out of your editing software. So they will put some barriers to it. But if you want that freedom, you might just need to spend a bit of extra pounds. To be honest, these things are not expensive. Maybe with £10, £5, you'll be able to get the full unlocked version of their software that you can use to edit. These are quite, cheap, but you can start with this free one that would have their watermark logo on it. It will still edit your video. So, Mrs. Anwulika, tomorrow we'll be talking about editing. I'm just going to look at another thing. Okay, I think thanks so much. The explanation is very informative, and I'll definitely reach out. Yes, please do reach out. Our sponsors have already supported this program, so please take advantage of this. Reach out to me, and I'll connect you with any of the other guys you want to speak with. If you want to speak with Mr. Toye, I'll make sure he gives us his time. I would hold him strong. He will give us his time, and he will give us the information you're requiring for. If you want to also speak with Ken or any other person, I'll make sure I hold them. I'll get hold of them. They would also give us some of the tips that you want. To be honest, if you're available for one-on-one, just reach out to me. I would give those tips and I would help out and at least help you to get started. Okay, any tip to use on professional camera? Okay, Mrs. Olabisi, you want tips on professional camera? I think it's all the same thing. It's all about the setting and going out there to do what you need to do, to use what you need to, to start doing that. And I think the best fit for Mrs. Olabisi would be Toye, because Toye extensively uses the professional camera, and he also extensively shoots events, which I know that Mrs. Olutoyin does. She does events photography, most especially birthdays, parties. I know she does that. So Toye, I'll bring you in quickly just to see what tip you could give our sister. She's into event photography. She's been doing that. I think she's actually been doing that for years now, for some time now. I think maybe Mrs. Toyin, please, if you can also drop a specific question you want answer on. But for the next 2-3 minutes, Toye will just give some tips about professional camera. But Sister Toye, if you can please ask specific question, what you want to know. Probably maybe what she wants is setting, camera setting. Probably what setting do you put your camera to help you get sharp images, especially when people are filming in parties. Uh, people are dancing, and you're taking picture of them. How do you manage to get that sharp, to get that picture in focus? I would want to believe that would be one of her questions because she's an event photographer.
Okay, then. As an event photographer, as I say to everyone, depending on your camera gear, but like all the camera gears still have the basic law that surrounds everything. Is you understanding it? For an event photographer, the first tip of it is that every event venue differs. No matter how you are familiar with a particular area of photography, when you get to an event venue, different lighting, different ambience, different tiny light bulbs that can affect the way your picture looks. So for an event photographer, the best one-on-one is to you continue to learn, you continue to make mistakes, but there's no perfect setting to put a camera on, even the most expensive camera gear, to go into an event situation, because different lighting at different times.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that. I think would also look at some of, if she has sent in specific question, I'll put that up. I think my eyes went to somebody's comment. I'm just, while looking at, I'm just trying to. I saw some of the comments. The guy said I've not answered this question. I'm just trying to look for the question so that I can answer it. Sorry about that. I'm just looking through his question again. Ismail, what was the question again? Okay, I find it. So he said, "How do we join video while on motion?" From Ismail Babaologi. Ismail is a good is one of my brothers, one of my friends that I met online. Earlier on, I told you that I'm in love with social media. I meet people online. I met Ismail online, and from there we connected. And by the time I went to Lagos, I connected with Ismail. We met together. We were on set of the film we're going to premiere next week. I mean, this weekend, this week Sunday. He was on set with me as well. We met, and that was how I know his business. He's into ogi production. He does pap. What he does is he makes ogi. For those of us from Nigeria, especially Yoruba side, ogi is pap, which is made from maize. I think Ismail, if you quickly drop a bit of if you quickly drop comment on the process of ogi or what ogi is, I'll flash that up so that people will know that he makes ogi into powder so that it can be exported or kept or preserved. So this training will be very, very good for him, I believe. So I don't really understand what you mean by how do we join video while on motion? While on motion, do you mean filming and walking about? If that is what you mean, if you're filming and you want to be walking, because your hand will not be very, very stable, you will need some sort of stabilizer. Let me see if I have a picture of this stabilizer. You will need one of these. You will need one of these. This can be bought for I think about $100. You will need one of these because what this does is it helps you to stabilize your footage. It helps you to stabilize your shots. So you are not that way your camera is not shaking and you have stable shot. And you can even run along with this. I think I've got one of these. I've got something like that, but I'll show you the one I've got. I've got something like that. Even though it's not a mobile phone holder, it's a camera on its own. But this training is not to get you to go and start buying gears that you don't need or that you don't use. This training is to encourage you to get started for whatever you have. And the most basic thing most people have is is their mobile phones. So I have this. It's very, very mobile as well. It's a camera. This cannot carry your mobile phone, but they are like the ones I showed, like the picture of the one I showed. It can, that one can carry mobile phone, but this one cannot carry mobile phone. This one has a camera on itself. This is good for running along. If you've been following some of my YouTube, my personal YouTube page, Olumide Fadeibi, most of the videos on there that I've been working about, that I go to different places to film, most of those videos were recorded using that because it helps me to move about. It's very, very mobile. It doesn't take ton of setting up or anything. So for those that are just joining us, thank you very much. I'll flash some of the tips again. I mean, some of your comments. Thank you very much, David Comfort, for that. And thank you, Vaina Maya. Thank you for that brilliant tips. By the way, Vaina runs a recruitment agency here in UK, Scotland. If you want to, if you're looking for a job, you're looking to change your career, she has helped me before. She has helped me to get my CV on point. She does this. She's been doing this amazing job. She's also been connecting people to employment, especially people of color. She gets them. She gives you the confidence. She has an organization that helps with that. Please do get in touch with Vina. I think she's commenting from Facebook. So, click on her profile. Don't start bugging her, but then at the same time, just reach out to her in a very subtle way. Hello, Vina. I came across you via this training. Please, I need my CV checked. Can you please let me check my CV? I'm sure she will gladly, if you mention this training, I'm sure she will gladly check your CV and put you in the right perspective. I don't know. I'm sure she'll be glad to do that. And if she also helps with organizations that are struggling with making sure that they have a diverse team in their company. She also consults for them. So thank you very much. I really appreciate that coming from Vina. And let me see any other comments. So we go again. I'll quickly recap again what we've done. I mean, what we've spoken earlier on. Preparing your content is very, very, very important, guys. You have to prepare what you want to say, make it into scripts or bullet points. Plan. You just have to keep planning. Plan what you want to do. Don't over plan. All these tips, just make sure you get started. Don't start saying, oh, I'm planning. Olumide said we should plan. No. What I mean is come out a bit prepared, but don't over prepare yourself. Choose a suitable location that doesn't have distracting noise, doesn't have distracting images, doesn't have things running in front, playing in the background. You can't go into the market, especially except if what you're talking about is not, except if what you're talking about is about market. You can't go into the market square and start making videos. A doctor can start talking about some sort of treatment while he's in the middle of the market, except if it's relevant to that location. Make sure your location is relevant to what you're talking about. That's the basic thing. Choose which camera you want to use, front or back, and overcome whatever challenges that comes with. Clean your lens. I can't overemphasize that. That is one of the first steps that separates you from an amateur. Once your lens is clean, your images will be sharp. Your images are not sharp because your lens is not clean. That's a very, very basic tip. Most people don't realize that. Though there are other things that make your lens sharp, but one of the things, because it's a mobile phone, it is already sharp. Mobile phone is already automated. They've automated this whole system. You can see it's got like 4 or 5 cameras. They've automated most of these whole systems that it would work for you. You understand? All you just have to do is clean the lens. It will be sharp. Then the next thing is, I said earlier, unlock your phone. Make sure the setting is locked. Your exposure, your aperture, your ISO, change it, set it, and lock it. Some cameras you won't be able to change it, but you look for third-party apps like Open Camera on Android. That should help you be able to control your camera settings. I think I have it here. I have that app, Open Camera. I do have it on my phone, but I'll put description in the. I'll put it in the description box. I'll put links to it. It's Open Camera. That's it there. If you download it, you should be able to see, and then that way you can change all the aperture, all the settings. You see, once you change that, it shows you. But I'll do a detailed demonstration in the editing section of this training video. And then the next thing is your lighting. You want to make sure you have good lighting source. You can buy extra lights, as I have some lights here, or use your window. Your window is the freest. It's free. It's absolutely free. Or go outside. When you're outside, make sure where you are outside doesn't have any distracting things, doesn't have noise, doesn't have, and don't back the sunlight. Put the sunlight in front or at the side. The best way to do this is let your building be at your back, so that way maybe your brick wall is behind you and then you're facing the sun. That's outside. That's You have the best, cleanest image from outside. But if, say, maybe you're living in Scotland that is very cold, or you don't want to be outside because of noise, then come inside and use your window as your light source. Or you buy one of these lights. They are like £50, 20, £30. I'll put links to them in the description after this video. So just check back when you're watching these videos again, and then you see that. Then another important part is your audio. Audio is very, very key, guys. Audio is the biggest part of this whole thing, because if you have a bad image and you have good audio after you've recorded, you can turn that into podcast. You can remove the video. You can remove the video and just use the audio. Or as Anwulika is trying to do, you can just have images on top of it, which I will talk about that in the editing class tomorrow. Today is how to get started and film yourself. And then now we've also talked about making sure you have enough space in your phone. We've talked about that, making sure you have enough space in your phone, in your memory. If before you start filming, this is very, very important. Before you press the record button, you have to make sure you have enough storage space. If you need to delete some forwarded WhatsApp messages that is blocking your phone, do that, and then have enough space, and you'll be able to record. Or buy external SD cards. Buy external cards. They are very, very affordable now. Just buy external SD cards, slot it in, and that you have enough space in your phone. The next tip is it's a no-brainer. You have to turn your phone, because your phone is a phone. We are only blessed to have cameras on them, and the cameras now are great. They are even better than some professional cameras. So you have to turn your phone into flight mode or do not disturb mode, because you don't want to be filming and then a call comes in, and then by the time you talk on the call, you forget about what you want to film, and then you give up. Then you procrastinate again and again. It has happened to me before. These are mistakes that I've learned. These are mistakes that I've done myself. So when you're about to film, make sure you put your phone on flight mode or do not disturb mode, so that no calls can come in, because your phone is your mobile phone and it's also what you're using as your camera. Your friend might just call you at the time you want to start filming. So it's important you turn it into flight mode or do not disturb mode. Again, you have to check your settings, check your camera settings, check that the recording is fine, check everything. This is where you now do the next tip, which is do a test run. I think before we started this, we even did a test run. So you need to do a test run, guys. Don't just go into filming and press your record button and just start filming, talk, film for like 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, depending on what you're saying, only to realize that you've plugged your microphone, but you didn't switch it on. How bad will you feel? After you've recorded 20, 30 minutes, only to realize you've plugged the microphone, but you didn't switch it on, or you've not even actually pressed the record button. These are mistakes that do happen while filming, and I'm sure some of us might have experienced it in the past. And what this will do to you is it would make you procrastinate, because after talking for like 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, only to realize that you didn't switch on your microphone, or you didn't do something right, or there's something inside the video that you weren't intending that to be in the shot. These are things that by the time you finished recording, it would discourage you from posting that video. It would discourage you from even redoing another thing. But if you just do a test shot of 1 minute, 30 seconds, 2 minutes, 1 minute maximum, 2 minutes at most, just do a test record, play that back, look at it, and see what it is that you've done wrong in the first one. You correct it, and then the next one is the final tip, which is it's time to shine. Just press record, say what you want to say, deliver your message, and that way you're able to pass your message across, sell your products and services, and that comes across to other people. I'm just going to read Ken's comment here. So Ken is sharing some tip that some phones shoot at variable frame rates. Frame rate, this can sometimes lead to issues during editing if combined with other media sources. So I think Anwilika, this is where this is. I told you earlier on that Ken is a professional editor, is an expert in editing. So this is editing tips, and I think this goes with Ken, with Anwilika, that's saying she doesn't want to show her face, but she just wants to put different images, different videos together and join them as slideshows. So what Ken is saying about frame rate, frame rate is the sizes of the images, the frame rates. Some are 24p, some are 30p, some are 50p. And apart from the frame rate, some are also, nowadays with phones, we have different settings. Some shoot in 4.3, 4 by 3, some shoot in 16 by 9, and some shoot in 1 by 1. And because of different distribution platforms, different social media channels that you'll be uploading to, for YouTube, the best is to shoot it 16 by 9, which is this way, landscape. I believe this is landscape. Toye, I'm right. This is landscape.
Yeah, that's landscape basically.
This is
But
landscape.
depending,
And this,
yeah. Sorry, sorry to come in there. You mentioned frame rates.
yeah,
Basically, then I think that's a bit of an advanced way.
yeah,
Most of our basic cameras will just shoot automatically to determine the best frame rate. So Ken is quite right, but like professionally speaking, what would our audience today are more like people learning little content. And coming back to the position in which you mentioned now, we have to look at the platform in which you are intending to post the images, the videos or the images as well. Somewhere like Instagram now, depending on the content you are creating, it's better you might shoot landscape or the portrait mode, depending on your content. Content is key, and the platforms in which you are putting it out there now.
yeah, because the platforms which you're putting these things out there really, really matters because, and then, yeah, so as I was saying, if you are putting it on YouTube, the landscape is the best way for YouTube.
Yeah,
But talking about YouTube, all this content, all these platforms are changing, and that is why mobile production is going to be the future of production because these things are always changing. YouTube now has introduced YouTube Shorts. I don't know if you guys have come across it. So on YouTube Shorts, you can do your phone like this. It's just YouTube Shorts, YouTube Stories. YouTube now you can post your images whichever way you want to do it. But for the best user experience for YouTube, if your stuff is going on YouTube, this is the best way. The landscape mode, which is 16 by 9. So if you go into the setting of your camera, you will see 16 by 9. Choose 16 by 9. This is 16 by 9, and this will give you what you can use across most of the platforms. Across most of the platforms. If you're shooting for Instagram, if you shoot it this way, you would go through as well. If you're shooting for Facebook, if you shoot this way, you will go through. Though Facebook, the best user experience that I've seen for Facebook is 4 by 3. It's kind of
yeah,
like a box. You understand? It's 4 by 3. That is good for Facebook if you're going for Facebook alone. I think 4 by 3 also works for Instagram, but 1 by 1 is the best for Instagram. But then 16 by 9 also works for Instagram. So, guys, you can see, just determine which platform you want to distribute to, and you can do all that. But then in the editing tip that I'm going to share tomorrow, you can shoot like this and also still be able to crop it in a way that you can end up with the footage like this. However, you would lose something. So while shooting, it's good to know how you position these things. And the way you learn is also by mistake. So when you shoot first, while you're editing, you will see that, oh my goodness, I lost a bit part of that because I was trying to reconfigure that image into something good for Instagram story. Because for your Instagram story, portrait position is the best way to shoot for Instagram story. But you can still shoot it this way, guys. All these tips, please don't overthink it. The most important thing is go and start filming. Go and start taking pictures. Go and start taking images. And when you've done that, there's always ways around it. As I said, get hold of me on one-on-one, and I would be happy to do that for you, to give you tips on how to do it. And Mr. Toye, is there anything else you want to share with us?
Yeah, basically, as we did say, you just have to go there to start creating the content for yourself. One of the last tips you just mentioned now is that you just have to make sure all your gears, if you're using an external mic, I have, as a professional, I've made such mistakes as well that like I forgot to switch on my mic. So for basic content creation, always do those little checks, you know. And I think that's just you can always get better, but you just have to get shooting. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I think I'll bring in some of the comment section now. I'll bring some of the comments in. So Anna Model has come with this question. Do the tips apply to live video as well, especially the one about putting your phone on do not disturb mode when recording? Okay, so these tips definitely apply to live videos, yeah. Lighting tips applies to your live video, your audio tip applies to your live video, your location tip applies to your live video. As I said, the most important thing is make sure your location matches with the content you're creating. If you're talking about market, obviously it might be better to be in the market to do it if you have to. But if you don't have to because of the noise, then choose a suitable location. So she was talking about putting your phone on do not disturb mode. I would say if you're going live with your mobile phone, it might be good to have two mobile phones, two for you to go live. Because, but if you have one, don't overthink these things. Don't say because I only have one, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to wait till I have the second one. I'm sure Anna didn't wait to start doing her Instagram live videos till she had her second phone. So the best thing is obviously if you put it on flight mode and probably use Wi-Fi, I don't know, will it work? You will need your Wi-Fi or your internet. Sorry, guys. You will need your Wi-Fi or internet for you to be able to go live. So I think you still need your internet connectivity for you to go live on that. Uh, what I mean by motion is when you make two different videos, for example, while making videos on how to make power and connecting it together. Yeah, this is going to be in the editing class. This is where you would learn tomorrow how to edit, how to put things together. Um, Toye, do you have anything
Yeah.
to say
No,
to
I just
Anna with regards to her question?
um to be honest to you, while going live, basically, it's still the same tips that you have to get the perfect light, the perfect audio, and everything. Those are just basic tips while going live as well. But the best bet, as Olumide did say, because while you're going live, you might be making use of your mobile data, or you using your what's it called, your Wi-Fi, but you need the internet, and the best option is just to make probably take off your SIM card at that point, so you're not getting calls coming in to interact your live video and everything. But like you just have to like still follow the tips of getting the perfect video and the perfect audio out there. The window tip is one of the brilliant thing, yeah, because nothing as good as natural light, nothing as good as natural light while filming. But as time goes on, you make mistakes, you adjust. Is your home, is your little space. You know when the light is set, when the sun is out there at that temperature, you need to like make it not making it too harsh on your skin or your subject. You have to understand those little lighting thing around yourself. So that's why sometimes you just have to understand your environment, without even investing on any external source of lighting. You can still do perfect video with just the windows being opened.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for that. And yeah, I told Ismail to tell us what PAP is. I think he sent it. He sent what PAP is. I read it earlier on, but I can't find it again.
Olumide, can I just say this quickly now? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
concerning apps and everything, like what Ismail did say now, there are several free applications, apps, yeah, that you can use to merge your video together seamlessly, and most of them are 100% free. I don't know if I'm allowed to start mentioning some of them. Well, some of the free ones, they are there. You can just keep on researching. You can make something without paying a penny. They are free. They are there. You know, and they are not subscription based, so you can actually get good footage. They optimize it to whatever resolution you want. They do a bit of correction for you as well.
Okay, okay, okay. I think with a bit of Google search, people will be able to see some of these apps. But I think it's okay if you can mention one or two of them um that they can use. He also said pap is a local meal made from corn. So that is what pap is. We'll be rounding this up and we would also be live like this tomorrow where we'll be talking about editing tips. But before I go, I said I was going to show us some of these lights that I have here. There's one that is one coming from me here. If I block it, you'll see that my face is a bit dark, but because I also have this natural the one in the house, the house light. So if I put that on, so this is it. I'll put the description below. I'll put the link to it below. This is what it looks like, and this is why I said don't put a light facing your camera. You see, it's not nice, is it? But assuming I put it in front of me, you can see I'm more brighter, but I don't want to be as bright as this. That's why I didn't use two of them. Uh, so that's why you make sure you're not facing the sun. But anyway, thank you so much for joining us, guys. Thank you so much for the contributors that have contributed, our consultants, Ken and Mr. Toye. Thank you so much for your time. And I do hope you guys do check some of the stuffs we do here out. Um, Tonflix, if you go to tonflix.org.uk, you will see some of the things we do. We're all about the advancement of arts and culture. We're also about providing enabling environment to where undiscovered talents can come together. So please, you can check us out and connect with us. And if you want to support our work as well, over the years we do creative stuffs, and what we want to do keep doing is capturing stories, capturing and telling the African stories the way we want it to be told. That is one of our main aims. So please, please, please do get in touch with us. And again, this whole video, this whole training is also backed with one-on-one interactive sessions. You can email me, you can call me, you can inbox me, you can chat with me, and I will make sure if you're within my locality, I'll do the best to make sure I see you. We come together. So this will be the end of today's training session. And guys, please, we want to see what you've created. That is the whole aim of this thing, because that is where the support that has been given to us by the European Union, that is where it's all going. We want to see all you've created, and we will have a celebration event at the end of this training session sometime next year. We're going to have a celebration event where all the images you guys have created will be displayed, will be in an exhibition where we will put them out there, that these are the works that you've been able to do. So Sister Toyi, I want to see more of your images. I want to see you more at events. I know I'm going to see you on Sunday. So if the tips that Toyi has given you has been helpful, please put your images together. We will see you over the weekend. And also, get started, guys. Just start using these tips that I've given you. And you can start filming yourself from today. join tomorrow in the editing class. You will learn how to edit your images together, and from there you would also be able to produce some of these tips. And in the event celebration event later on next year, we would showcase and exhibit some of your work. So this would be a great time if you're trying to market yourself, if you're trying to put your brand out there, because there will be some key stakeholders at that event. So this would be a great time for you to start putting things together and showcase it in front of the people. So without wasting too much time, let's put this to an end, and we'll talk. We'll see you tomorrow in the editing class. And I'm just trying to quickly go over any comment section that I missed. This is Fatola Olamilekon saying thank you. Lekon is a production manager, is a very, very good production manager in Nollywood. Thank you for saying thank you to us, and thank you for staying with us for watching. And we have from Fumlayo Adeyinka, thank you. You're doing a great job. God crown your efforts and mine as well. Thank you. Amen. 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 I think I flashed all the tips, and I flashed all the messages. Thank you so much for the session. Thank you, Grace. Thank you very much. Thank you, Grace. Toye, do you have
Yeah.
anything to say before we bring it to a close?
Um, the only thing is just keep on shooting, keep on
Yes,
creating those content. It matters a lot, yeah. And the
yes,
only thing it can actually do to you, it can only make you be more confident with yourself, and wherever you're trying to film, you get better, creating better content.
that's great. That's great. Thank you very much. And on to that,
You're
I'll
most
be
welcome.
saying, yeah, I'll be saying big thank you to the funders that helped to make this possible. European Union, the Scottish Government, University of Glasgow, Scottish Refugee Council, because they want these refugees to not just to be able to empower themselves and be able to tell their stories. And to Kosla, we say thank you everyone, and we'll see you again tomorrow in the editing class. Thank you. The video will be live and you can always catch up. Thank you very much and see you. If you've not yet subscribed to this channel, please do, because we'll be having more and more interesting topics like this that I'll be bringing to your way. I really appreciate your time. Thank you and God bless.